Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a technology that could literally change the way we think about trash. It's called CDT, and it might just be the key to turning our huge global waste problem into an incredible source of clean energy. So let's just start with this idea. We're all used to thinking of trash as the end of the line, right? Something you bury or burn and forget about. But what if that's all wrong? What if it's actually a raw material, just packed with potential? That's the big idea we're going to explore. Now, before we jump into the solution, we've really got to understand the scale of the problem we're facing. Because to really get why this tech is such a big deal, you have to see just how big of a mess we're in. You know, our waste problem isn't just one thing. It's more like three crises rolled into one. First off, as the world's population grows, we're making more trash than ever. That leads straight to the second crisis, the environmental one. Our current methods like landfills and incineration pump out pollution and greenhouse gases. And finally, there's the economic hit. We spend a ton of money just to throw away what are actually really valuable resources. Okay, so that's the problem, but what if there's a much better way to handle it? And that brings us to the hero verse story today. Catalytic degassing technology, or CDT for short. So what in the world is CDT? Well, simply put, it's a patented process that takes all that organic waste and completely transforms it. Instead of just trying to get rid of trash, it turns it into things we can actually use. We're talking high-energy gas, renewable fuels, and other valuable stuff. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of it. CDT isn't some futuristic science experiment. It's designed to be a real-world, practical replacement for incineration. It proves that what's good for the planet can actually be great for the bottom line too. All right, so how does this thing actually work? How do you turn a pile of everyday garbage into a valuable resource? Let's take a look under the hood. The whole process is actually pretty elegant and really boils down to three main steps. First, the waste gets pre-sorted and shredded up into smaller, more manageable bits. Then comes the magic, the catalytic reaction. This is where the process gas gets created. And finally, that gas is purified and recycled to squeeze out every last bit of energy. That middle stage, the reaction, is where the real transformation happens. The system uses these special catalysts at temperatures up to 500 degrees Celsius to completely break down the waste. And what comes out is incredibly useful: process gas, fuels, even fertilizer. But here is the absolute game changer. Unlike incineration, it generates zero harmful emissions. No ash, no slag, nothing nasty left behind. Just clean, useful products. So that brings us to the main event. Let's put CDT head-to-head with the current method, waste incineration. And, well, you're about to see that it's not exactly a fair fight. The difference is just staggering. Just look at the energy output. It is absolutely staggering. If you take 1 ton of waste, a typical incinerator will generate about 600 kilowatt hours of electricity. CDT, from that exact same ton of waste, can get up to 2,000. That is more than 3 times the power. It's not just an improvement, it's a fundamental leap forward in efficiency. And when you lay it all out side by side, the advantages are just crystal clear. On emissions, CDT is way cleaner, no question. On energy yield, it's not even close. And when you combine those two things, the economics just speak for themselves. You're looking at a much higher return on your investment. The benefits here go so far beyond just managing waste better. This kind of technology really has the potential to reshape our whole approach to energy and the environment. From an environmental perspective, the impact is just huge. CDT drastically cuts down CO2 emissions and totally eliminates some of the most dangerous pollutants. This makes it an incredibly powerful tool for any city or country that's serious about hitting its climate goals. Now get this. Think about one of the biggest, thorniest recycling problems we face: plastic floating in the ocean. It's contaminated with salt and chlorine, which makes it basically impossible for most technologies to handle. But CDT, it can process it. It can take that exact contaminated plastic and turn it into clean energy. That's a real, tangible solution to the ocean plastic crisis. And beyond the environment, just think about energy independence for a second. A CDT plant is so efficient it can generate enough power to cover about a quarter of its own energy needs. For a community, that means less dependence on fossil fuels and less exposure to the crazy price swings of the global gas and oil markets. And of course, none of this matters if the numbers don't add up. But they do. CD Tech offers a high return on investment. Plus, it's modular, which means a plant can be designed to fit the needs of a huge city or a much smaller town. It's just a smart, flexible, and cost-effective solution all around. So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway here? CDT takes this massive, overwhelming global problem, our trash, and it turns it into a powerful local solution that can generate clean energy and create economic value right in our own backyards. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. For decades, we've been trying to figure out what to do with our trash. Maybe the answer was never about getting rid of it. Maybe it was about unlocking what's hidden inside. After seeing what CDT can do, you really have to wonder, is our trash the most valuable, most overlooked source of clean energy on the planet?